Hi, I'm Colleen and I'm 54 and I've spent years studying hormonal replacement therapy, still do, supplementation, and how to stay vital and ageless after 40. And here's something most women don't know. The majority of physicians were never trained in menopause or perimenopause. This was even highlighted at the recent FDA seminar on women's health.
I'm really passionate about a couple of issues within it. And the first one that I'd like to talk about is education, because we have a lot of women, we have millions and millions of women out there, and we don't have enough practitioners to take care of them. And unfortunately, we don't have practitioners who know anything about menopause. And so I'm going to start talking about the lovely day, July 9th, 2002, that none of us remember, the day that the music died, and that all of our patients threw their estrogen, as Dr. Macri says, into the toilet, which is a line I use regularly. And what happened is not only did our patients stop using estrogen, but the other thing that happened is they stopped learning about estrogen. Menopause education stopped on July 9th, 2002. And I have proof of this, okay? The other thing that was going on, besides the fact that women were told they were all going to get breast cancer and die if they continued to use their estrogen therapy, was the fact that we were in residency programs faced with a dilemma. We were telling our residents they were working too hard. Now, I may debate that, but anyway, but the key thing is that residency hours were being cut. So they were being cut from 120 hours a week down to 80. So you can't not train an OBGYN to do a delivery, to do some prenatal care, to do a hysterectomy. Hey, if women are going to think that estrogen is going to make them die, why bother teaching them about menopause? So menopause education got cut too. That died that day also. And we have proof of that. Do I have proof? Yes, I do. And one of the first excellent pieces of proof was published about 10 years after the WHI, 2013, when Dr. Wen Shen of Johns Hopkins did a nice survey of all the residency programs in the United States and Canada and showed that 20% of them were teaching menopause education. 80% were not. Well, we made great strides since then, and 10 years later, Dr. Peter Schnatz and his group, former president of the Menopause Society, did a follow-up survey and basically found that now we were up to 30%. Now, this is just 2 years ago, that 30% of the residency programs in the US and Canada were teaching menopause education. So where are these kids going to learn anything? It's really tough. And then what happened is now we're having an onslaught of women who are now turning menopausal, perimenopausal, and menopausal. And when the WHI came out, they weren't paying attention to the WHI. They were paying attention to maybe contraception or something else from women's health, but they weren't talking about this menopause business. Well, guess what? Now they're getting hot flashes, and now they're not feeling so good, and their brains aren't working so good, and their vaginas aren't working so good, and they go to their young doctor who doesn't know anything about this. Uh-oh, we got problems.
And that's why so many women walk into their doctor's office and get a prescription for hormones, and then they don't even feel the benefits, or sometimes they feel even worse. The truth is, it's not always the hormones themselves that are the problem. It's that the right testing wasn't done first. Without the right labs, hormone therapy is guesswork. And when it comes to your body, guessing is not a good option. So in this video today, I want to give you a complete breakdown of the lab work you should know about before starting or adjusting hormonal therapy. This will give you the knowledge to walk into your doctor's office educated, empowered, and ready to get the care that you deserve. I would start with saliva testing. So one of the first options is through a company, ZRT, but there's many options for saliva testing. You want to test your estradiol, your progesterone, your testosterone, your DHA, and your cortisol. Saliva testing is helpful because it shows daily hormonal rhythms and how your levels fluctuate throughout the day, which blood testing does not. It does not always capture that because blood work is the snapshot of the moment. There are also functional tests like the Dutch test to see which urine metabolites are excreting through your body, and some genetic tests that can give some insight into how to process and detox your hormones. I personally like ZRT for its reliability, but you don't have to use that one company. What matters is getting a picture of how your hormones are really functioning. talk about the blood work because it's absolutely essential. What I recommend is part of a comprehensive panel. The SHBG, your sex hormone binding globulin. This tells how much of your hormones are bound up versus how much is free and active. You can have normal levels but still feel awful if your SHBG is too high or too low. Now I'm going to discuss number 2, which is the lipid panel. This is very iffy. Sometimes we don't even give that because when women would see that their cholesterol was high, they would get a little anxious about it. But you have to understand that, remember that cholesterol is the backbone of your hormones. That's how we make hormones. When your body is trying to make hormones, cholesterol may go up. I've seen it in so many cases, including myself. The problem is most women get put on statins, which can actually block your ability to make hormones. That's why you need someone, a physician, who understands hormonal health and can distinguish between cholesterol rising and hormonal production versus cardiovascular risk. Always monitor your triglycerides as well, since that's a stronger marker for cardiovascular health. Let's talk about your comprehensive metabolic panel, your CMP. This checks glucose, kidney function, liver enzymes, and electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and calcium, and all essential for safe and effective hormonal therapy. Your CBC, it's a complete blood count, white blood cells, red blood cells, hemoglobin, hematocrit. This gives a picture of your immune health and oxygen delivery. Another one, hemoglobin A1C, shows how your body is managing blood sugar over the last 2 to 3 months, and blood sugar balance is critical for hormonal balance. Now we're going to talk about your thyroid panel. This is where so many women get dismissed. Most doctors only check TSH and then tell you your thyroid is, quote, normal. But a full panel should include your TSH, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and your TPO, which is thyroid antibodies. Now, your reverse T3 is especially important. It's the active form that blocks your metabolism. Think of it as a brake pedal. Stress, high cortisol, illness, and hormonal changes in perimenopause can drive it up. Without checking the reverse T3 and free T3, you can be suffering with thyroid symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, weight changes, even while your labs look normal. Next is folate, vitamin B9, estrogen metabolism support. Folate is crucial in methylation pathways that help the body process and detoxify estrogen. Low folate can contribute to estrogen-dominant symptoms like PMS, heavy periods, mood swings, weight gain, DNA repair, and cell health. Adequate folate ensures healthy cell replication, especially important in tissues sensitive to hormones like breast, uterine, and ovarian. Also, mood and neurotransmitters. Folate helps make serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, neurotransmitters that often dip during hormonal shifts. Low folate can raise homocysteine levels as well, which increases cardiovascular risk. It's important since estrogen normally protects the heart, but that protection wanes after menopause. Let's talk ferritin, your iron storage protein. Ferritin reflects iron storage. Low ferritin is a common cause of fatigue, hair loss, and brain fog symptoms that can be caused with hormonal imbalance. Your thyroid connection in ferritin is the iron is essential for making thyroid hormones. Without enough ferritin, T4 can't properly convert to active T3. It worsens your fatigue and your weight issues. Optimal ferritin supports healthy hair and glowing skin, both often impacted during hormonal shifts. Next, let's talk homocysteine. This is one of my favorites because it's such a powerful marker. Homocysteine is an amino acid that should be recycled by B vitamins. If it's elevated, it means your methylation cycle isn't working, and methylation is how your body detoxes hormones like estrogen. It repairs your DNA and protects your brain and your heart. High homocysteine equals poor detox, higher cardiovascular risk, and impaired hormone metabolism. The fix is very simple, sometimes just the right B vitamins, but you have to know to test for it. Let's go to FSH and LH. These are pituitary hormones that show how your brain is signaling your ovaries. They help determine where you are in perimenopause and menopause. Now, next is your MTHFR gene. It's a genetic test, but you could do it through your blood work. And this looks at how well your body activates folate and manages methylation. If you have the MTHFR variants, you may need special forms of B vitamins to keep your hormones and detox pathways work so they can work properly. The next is vitamin D. Vitamin D isn't just about bone health. It's a hormone precursor. If your levels are low, it can disrupt estrogen, testosterone, thyroid function, and even your mood. Always ask your doctor to check 25-hydroxy vitamin D on your blood work and aim for optimal levels, not just normal. Another is B12. It's essential for energy, your nervous system function, and methylation. The process your body uses to detox and balance hormones as well. So low B12 can mimic symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, and will give you fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, even tingling in your hands and your feet. Make sure your lab includes serum B12 for accuracy. So why does this all matter? When you put all of this together, you get a complete roadmap of your hormone health. Instead of being handed a prescription and hoping it works, you'll know, 1, how your hormones are being produced and metabolized, whether your thyroid is supporting or sabotaging you, if your nutrient status is strong enough to support hormonal balance, and if your detox pathways are open so your body can actually use hormones safely and effectively. This is the difference between hormone therapy that feels like a gamble and hormonal therapy that feels like real medicine. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. It helps me get this information to you. And I am passionate about women, especially women over 40, knowing what to ask their doctors so they're not dismissed or misled. The truth is, when you're educated, you stop guessing and you start reclaiming your health. You start reclaiming your balance and your vitality after 40. Because we don't fight age, we redefine it.